That steam for you, Mr. Solomon? Perfect control.
My dear Mr. Fraser, I have seen much to admire in Europe, but only the exceptional will impress me.
The Golden Nugget is exceptional. You'll not find a better designed engine anywhere in the world.
But we have a vessel in the Imperial Shipyards, Istanbul, nearing completion, with an engine at least 20 years ahead of its time.
No, but that's impossible. I mean, the Ottoman Empire is such a
backward country?
Industrially speaking.
May I impress upon you that we have a formidable history in science and mathematics. The zero was bequeathed to the world by our ancestors.
But this engine, sir, can you enlighten me on its principles?
I can give you some figures. 18 knots at a coal consumption rate of 2 pounds per indicated horsepower per hour.
But they must have solved every flaw in the compound system. How?
I am not a technical man, Mr. Fraser. Perhaps you'd like to come and see it for yourself.
Mama certainly would.
I would consider it a great honor to receive you in Istanbul as my cherished guest.
Well, that's wonderful.
Fraser, we're within reach of regaining control of our own company. You building the steamship that you want to, and you talk of sailing to Istanbul.
Yes. And as for the Golden Nugget, the delays have been providential.
You're not thinking of abandoning the whole scheme, are you?
No, but let's not rush it. Look at those figures again, James. A redesigned Golden Nugget would have a freight earning capacity second to none.
I think so.
Oh, I'm certain of it.
When do you plan to sail?
There's a Turkish ship due to leave in 3 weeks' time.
A heathen ship, eh? I've been offered a cargo of coal for Port Said. I could take you personally.
That's very good of you, James.
It's no favor. I'm sure you'd see to it that we get our full share of Eastern hospitality.
What did you have in mind?
A cargo of Turkish tobacco at a bargain price.
Albert, if you think I will expose William to the treacherous climate of the East and the horrific diseases...
Oh, Elizabeth, this is a very important trip. It concerns our future, the future of the Golden Nugget and the future of the Onedin Line. Well, don't you understand?
Perfectly. And you must go.
Well, I can't leave you alone here for months.
You've left me before.
And the circumstances were different then.
Hardly. I seem to remember last time you were obsessed by an American engine. Now it's a Turkish one.
Elizabeth, why don't you want to come?
It would have been a most difficult journey for the child.
Yes. Yes, it would.
She's a good mother, Albert. And a good wife.
But they touch him again and they change him time. Kept him in the dark green down to the line. The holy hey, the holy yo. They gave him nothing but a judge.
Mr. Baines, look to your Tagalog clue garnets. That man's no business aloft.
Horizon! Get off that yard! Nothing till you've seen the Turkish lass. Like marble statues and soft as mother's milk. You mark my words, before they drown the lot of you in their silky pantaloons.
Like that, are they? But don't stop, Mr. Baines. I'm most interested.
Well, it's the topsails, ma'am. Now up there, the lot of you, before I hoist you by your ears.
Watch them over, Mr. Baines.
Silky pantaloons.
Silky what?
Do you know why James Onedin has chosen this particular moment to take Albert Fraser on a voyage?
No, I do not, but I'll see what I can find out. Hey, that looks most excellent, Emma. The first of an eternity of lunches, I hope.
Really, Daniel, we can't turn Callens into a tea room.
No, but after we're married.
Oh, I see.
You're looking forward to the happy day, Emma?
Yes.
So am I. Impatiently.
Patience is the virtue, Daniel, not impatience.
No, but another month or so, and we'll have had a decent engagement period. We don't want to leave it too long, do we?
We won't.
It'll be time to start a family. Start young. You want men holding your wake, not babes.
Is that your purpose in marriage, Daniel? To have a family? Oh, you can't deny it. I've seen you looking at children, particularly that Fraser boy.
I like children, Emma. I'd like a house full of them, as many as you want. 6, 10, a dozen.
And what about me? Well, what happens to me? I suppose I'm to wither away. Like Mamma. 10 she bore my father. And he was a proud and happy man. But it sent her to an early grave, and most of my brothers and sisters, too.
Emma!
Or does marriage mean the Callan line? And my shares in the Onedin line. They'll make a good dowry.
If that's what you think,
I don't want to think that you look upon me as a chattel to do with as you please.
Never given you cause, Emma.
No, but you're rushing me.
Very well, then. I won't rush you.
We shall marry, Daniel. And soon. But there's no hurry to set the date yet. Is there?
When are you expecting him back?
Oh, why?
Well, there are certain business matters to attend to.
Oh, I see. It's really Emma Callan who wants to know.
Miss Callan is majority shareholder in the Onedin Line.
I would have thought she'd have other things in her mind, like getting married. Set the date, have you?
Not yet.
Don't take too long about it, Daniel, or you might lose her.
I won't.
Nice to be so sure. If you are sure, that is.
I am sure, Elizabeth.
She's not with child. No, she wouldn't be. She seems scared of men.
Well, she's not fickle, if that's what you mean.
It's not at all what I mean. There's something about her it takes a woman to see. She's more like a bride for St. Paul, not at all the woman for you, Daniel.
On the contrary, Elizabeth, she is the woman for me. She's affectionate, considerate, loving, loyal, kind. In fact, she's
The exact opposite of me.
You still haven't told me when Albert will be back.
He's gone to study a Turkish steam engine. He won't be back before the summer's out. Oh, Daniel,
Yes.
you've started calling me Elizabeth again. Had you noticed?
There it is. The only volcanic island in the upper sea.
The upper sea?
The Aegean. The ancient Egyptian name for it.
Look at that lava.
I'm told the locals do a very good trade out of all that.
What trade can there be in lava?
Pumice powder. Fetches good price in Port Side.
What do they use it for?
Construction of the new canal. Apparently it waterproofs the cement.
The water's a strange colour. It's like jade. I wonder why.
The devil's at work in our bowels, ma'am.
Welcome to Istanbul, Mr. Fraser.
Thank you, sir. May I introduce Captain and Mrs. James Onedin?
How do you do, sir?
This is indeed an honor. The Right Honorable Sir Charles Grey, the British ambassador.
Your servant.
Sir Charles insisted on welcoming you.
Oh, you shouldn't have inconvenienced yourself, sir.
I would traverse the world to meet an Englishman, sir. Or an English lady, madam.
This is my divan, what you would call salon. My chief eunuch, Abdullah. He will lead you to your quarters, where my concubines will attend to all your needs. They all speak English. They are hand-picked. They should give you no cause for complaint.
Well, I feel we're presuming much too much upon your hospitality, sir.
Allah has favored me with guests, Mr. Fraser. You must allow me gratification. Please rest. I will speak with you later.
This way, Mr. Fraser.
See you later then, eh, Fraser?
Yes.
Look.
My name is Leila. You must permit us to serve you.
Oh, perhaps later. Just now, I'd like to have a bath.
Certainly. Suraya will prepare it. I will undress you.
Oh, but Miss Leila,
I know what to do with Western clothes. Suleiman Pasha made us practice.
Oh, did he?
Come. You must sit down.
Thank you. Miss Leila, please.
Yes?
I'm quite capable. I mean, I can take a bath by myself.
No man should take a bath by himself.
Your bath's ready? Should have seen the way that eunuch perfumed it. James!
What? Well, they're only undressing me.
Undressing you?
Well, you know, serving.
Out! All of you! Out!
Have they offended you, sir?
Get them out, that's all. Just get them out.
They shall be punished.
No, not punished.
They have failed in their duties.
Oh, if anything, they were being a bit too dutiful.
They were undressing my husband.
But they must, unless you wish that particular privilege for yourself.
Privilege?
These girls are here to share your wifely duties. They're trained to please both the man and the wife.
Well, as far as we are concerned, all wifely duties shall be reserved for the wife.
Madame.
All right, lad. We'll send for you when we want you, eh?
Oh, I never.
Well, Anne.
What?
Your wifely privileges. Prepare me for me bath.
Thank you. What is so captivating about that coffee cup?
Your fortune.
Oh, really? You can read fortunes, can you?
I am a Circassian.
Oh, I see, yeah. Well, then, tell me what's in store.
It is better not to know.
As bad as that, is it?
No. There are some wonderful things.
Tell me those, then.
You are a man who gives fire. Those who wish for light will love you much. You will climb many beautiful summits.
And fall each time.
A few times. There will be people who choose darkness because they can hide in it.
They'll destroy me?
No, not you.
Well, that's a relief. What else?
That is all.
Oh, surely not. Let's see. What's that squiggle there?
A woman.
Who? My wife?
No,
Who then?
a Circassian.
But how can you be sure?
Fate.
And what is fate in store for you?
Love.
You mean duty?
Duty.
Sequestered within a harem? Ordered to love a man? Any man?
You cannot order love.
Nor can there be free will, not in your case.
I will love you until I die.
But you don't even know me.
It is not difficult to know a man. You look and you can see what there is in the eyes, summer or winter. And if there is summer, then you give body, life and soul.
Body, life, and soul are precisely what women never give, but always take.
I know of no such woman.
I know of none other.
Suleiman Pasha, sir, in his divan.
I don't know what to say, sir. How to express me gratitude for your favors and hospitality.
Please, it is nothing. I share what I have. May I speak with you about our mutual interests?
Of course.
Huzzah. I think, to use an ancient saying, I should take the bull by the horns. I am grossly guilty of what is known as a political falsehood. I have lured you to Istanbul with an ugly lie. The fact is, we have no revolutionary engine.
But surely
How could we, when most of our children are subject to religious indoctrination to the exclusion of all other knowledge?
Then why did you get me here?
Your file, Mr. Fraser. These designs are copies of most, if not all, of your own work.
But how did...
I am an old sea dog with considerable scientific erudition. I have followed the development of steam zealously, and I have no hesitation in singling you out as Europe's most promising steamship designer.
I'm most flattered, sir.
There is no flattery in truth. The point I wish to make is that we want to exploit your genius.
We?
The Sultan, his government, and my enlightened fellow Turks. We know that the old days, alas, can never be recaptured. Today, the West calls us the sick man of Europe. But happily, the disease is not yet fatal. Indeed, certain reforms by the present Sultan Abdulaziz have succeeded in arresting the malady.
Yes.
But to recover our health, we need the elixir of economic growth. We need the clemency of new horizons. We need a fleet of ships in which to trade the world. And we need you to build that fleet.
A fleet?
I am empowered by the Sultan to offer you the post of master builder for a minimum of 10 years. The annual salary, Mr. Fraser, will be £7,000.
£7,000?
So, you're abandoning ship, eh?
If you mean the Onedin Line.
For which I'll beg it myself. Just when I need you.
I'll give you my proxy rights. I'll transfer all my shares to you, plus the designs of the Golden Nugget.
But I need you to build her.
I'll give you my written recommendations.
Well, damn your written recommendation. I need you in Liverpool.
James, this is an offer I can't refuse.
I thought we were partners.
James!
Well, it isn't the money, but the chance to build a fleet of steamships.
And James's ambition is to own such a fleet.
You'll not persuade me, Anne. I've made up my mind.
And what of Elizabeth?
And so, gentlemen, I am happy to tell you that Mr. Fraser will commence his duties at the end of the month, following his audience with His Omnipotence the Sultan and Khalife Abdulaziz.
Şeytan işi bu. Allah'ın yolundan çıktınız, ayrıldınız.
With Haji Ahmed, the eminence agrees of the religious reactionaries. He hates the infidel.
Does he?
A fanatic and a dangerous man, sir. He seeks isolation from the West.
Now, gentlemen, I'm sure you must be famished. If you will allow me, I will lead you to our modest offerings.
His modest offerings will consist of 90 courses and 45 desserts.
Well, we could change from hardtack anyway.
Women still haven't got the vote. One day we shall have it, but we have asserted our rights. For instance, if we have a dinner party, we all join in.
But how can the men talk amongst themselves?
Well, they can talk over their port. That's concession enough.
When men and women are always together, they become equal.
Well, that's precisely what we want, equality.
When you're equal, you fight, you hate, you're jealous, you become selfish.
On the contrary. And you love, not because you're told to, but because you want to. You don't get trampled upon.
How can we be trampled upon? They come to us, to rest their heads on our breast, to forget the world, to imagine the Garden of Eden before Allah threw us out. So, we make them forget. We weave charms for them. Only we can do this.
I'm talking about love, Layla.
I am too. To love a man is the easiest thing in the world.
Is it?
You ask yourself 2 questions. 1, can I live without him? The answer will be yes, because you can live without anything. And then you ask the second question. Do I want to live without him? The answer will be no.
And how can you make him see that you love him so?
How? I will show you how. Abdullah, the drum. Talk with your body. It is more eloquent than speech. The body can never lie. It alone can say truthfully, I love you. And that is all a man wants to know.
Imagine me going on like that in front of James.
We could strip the passenger accommodation. That'd give us a few more tons.
All right, see to it, Mr. Baines. I want every nook and cranny stuffed with tobacco.
James?
Thank you, ma'am. Good day to you, Captain Onedin.
Fletcher. You come in with the tide or something?
Tides don't pick on me, sir. More like ill winds.
You remember Fletcher, Mr. Baines?
Aye, sir. Now, if it's work you're looking for...
No, Mr. Baines, it's not.
What then?
Don't load your cargo, Captain.
Hey?
At least not for a few weeks, and you can make yourself a fortune.
Indeed. How?
Surely you've heard, sir. The island of Santorin has erupted. All the ships due to collect pumice for the Suez Canal have turned back. The Lesseps tearing at his beard. He's willing to pay a king's ransom for a cargo of pumice.
So?
I know Santorin. I know where to quarry, where to get the men.
You want me to find the ship, eh?
Of course, sir.
And what did you have in mind for your share, eh, Fletcher?
A quarter of what you make.
But if the other ships can't get near the
It's
island...
not the ships, ma'am. It's the captains. Pigeon-hearted, the lot of them.
You can't take sail to fire, man.
Oh, indeed not, Mr. Baines. But you can take steam.
Steam?
Mr. Baines, you stay behind, finish loading, join me in port side. Fletcher? No hard feelings about our past differences, eh? 15%?
Done, sir.
The steamship you're looking for, sir?
There's one lying at anchor at the Golden Horn. Do you happen to know the charter rates for steamships?
That one belongs to the Suez Construction Company. You should get it almost free.
My master apologizes for not being able to converse with you himself. But as I'm sure you appreciate, although he understands English, his piety allows him to speak only the language of Allah.
I understand, of course.
Çekinme, söyle.
You've been summoned here, Sir Charles, on a matter of utmost importance.
Mr. Fraser's appointment.
Memleketimizde istemeyiz. Açıkla.
An appointment as undesirable for Britain as it is for Turkey.
Gazelik, bildir.
Your country has chosen as her future politics a policy of imperialism and the supremacy of the seas. Is that not so?
And the Ottoman Empire, sir?
Bu iş şeytan işi.
The Ottoman Empire, sir, or rather her true sons, believe that the advance of what you call civilization is the work of Shaitan, the devil. A temptation to divert us from the path of Allah, the compassionate, the merciful. Must I continue?
In the interests of our nation, sir, let us leave no room for misinterpretation.
Anlamadı mı daha?
The problem, Sir Charles, has a very simple remedy. Mr. Fraser's appointment must be annulled. Otherwise, my master would be forced to take irrevocable measures.
So that's the future, Mr. Baines.
Aye. But will the men like it? Clean, fresh sea air perks the sailor, Mrs. Onedin, not grime.
A necessary evil, I admit. But does it not have the advantage over sail on a voyage such as this?
Nothing man-made has the advantage over the forces of nature.
But surely we've learned to master the sea.
No, man. We still sail by courtesy only. The sea is a generous old lady, but we dare defend her.
I stand corrected, Mr. Baines.
It's about Mr. Fraser. I'm under the impression that you disapprove of his appointment. Am I right?
I find it inconvenient.
Of course, you have a vested interest in British maritime affairs. And you have no difficulty in foreseeing the havoc that could be wrought upon us by a strong Turkish merchant navy, particularly one converted to steam.
Oh, hadn't thought of it like that. There's no talking to Fraser, though.
Not even if you show him where his interests lie.
His interests?
His country's interests, Captain. And yours.
There's some more wine, Mr. Charles.
You are so quiet.
I'm happy. You've given me peace.
I have given you love, no more.
And no less. I feel as if I could stay here with you like this for an eternity.
But you will not touch me.
I have a wife.
Who does not care whether she touches you or not.
Did you see that in the coffee cup?
No. Her absence from your bed shows it.
Touching isn't everything.
No. But wanting to touch is where everything starts. Without the hunger, love cannot blossom.
Oh, dear, sweet Layla.
Please, touch me.
I daren't.
Captain and Mrs. Onedin.
Show them in.
Please call me when they leave.
Ready to sail?
Tomorrow. First light. Baines will follow in a day or so.
And I suppose you're here to persuade me to sail with him.
In your interests.
Sounds like a threat, James.
Don't you understand, man? British shipping must be protected. The interests of the Empire must be safeguarded.
Doesn't sound like you, James. More like Sir Charles Grey. Grind every country into poverty. Gold on our plates, dung on theirs.
Well, you've got to look after your own.
Indeed. Or look after James Onedin.
You won't see sense, will you? Go along, Anne.
Just a minute, James. Have you considered Elizabeth?
Yes, I have done.
She may not feel as you do. Would you sacrifice her?
Elizabeth is hardly the sacrificial lamb. You, Anne, you'd follow James through hell and high water. You'd die for him, and so would he for you, but Elizabeth, well, she'll always do what is best for Elizabeth.
We'll miss you, Albert.
Come along, Anne.
Farewell, James.
Farewell. Good luck. She's a bit sluggish, but she'll do.
Keep her clean. Keep her well fed and she'll always serve you. From wind or doldrums, fine weather or storm, no tacking. Save you hundreds of miles.
What happens if your engine breaks down? To wait for a sailing ship to come by?
Things can go wrong on any ship. Sail or steam.
Aye, but 99 times out of 100, sail will get me home. What's that?
Temperament, Captain. Temperament. Engines don't like being carped at.
Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning.
And how are you this fine and beautiful day?
Very well, thank you. And what can I do for you?
I'd like you to send this telegram to your agent in Istanbul. I'll pay for it, of course.
Well, all right. I'll attend to it immediately.
Won't you read it?
Read it? I don't understand.
You will. It conveys my decision.
Your decision?
You know Albert wants me to join him there for 10 years.
I had heard, yes.
Thanks to Sarah, all Liverpool has heard.
And you're going?
Daniel, I do believe you're gripped by suspense. I'm flattered. I shall not be going.
But you must go, Elizabeth. A wife must always stick by her husband.
Oh, how gallant of you.
Elizabeth, I advise you most strongly.
And so you must. But I'm sure you know it will not change my mind.
What possible reason can you have to refuse to go?
The welfare of my son. Our son, Daniel.
Has it ever occurred to you that Suleiman Pasha may be deceiving you? That he may be a warlord beneath his Solon's clothing?
You have me word upon his integrity.
Your word, sir, cannot protect the British Empire. You must realize that soon, with the completion of the Suez Canal, a new and strategic route to India will open. And that calls for our absolute sovereignty in the Eastern Mediterranean.
The ships I build shall in no way threaten that sovereignty.
Merchant ships can be converted to men of war, and a strong Turkish navy would threaten our national interests, sir. I go further. Supplying the Turks with ships would constitute treason.
Is that official?
It could be made official.
Well then, Sir Charles, until it is made official, or until I hear of it directly from the Prime Minister himself, I shall continue with my work here. Good day to you, sir.
You're being very foolhardy, Mr. Fraser. Do bear in mind that in this country, any of us can be quite expendable. Good day to you, son.
A telegram for you, sir.
Thank you.
Is it bad news?
My wife.
Will she not come?
Layla? How would you like to spend the rest of your life with me? Be with me all the time? Go with me everywhere?
I am your woman. For as long as you want me.
She's running very well, Chief. Now what's happened?
She needs cooking.
Cooking? Well, how long does that take?
Who knows?
Well, we can't just drift, you know. There's tricky channels out there.
I'll tell her that, Captain.
Sir Charles called it treason.
We live in a day when every dissenter can be accused of treason. I, too, am guilty in the eyes of some.
You mean Haji Ahmed?
I hate religious fanaticism, Albert. It uses Allah as a pawn. It is the worst sacrilege I know.
Has Haji Ahmed many followers?
What following can a false prophet have? A few dagger men.
Dagger men?
You mustn't worry, my dear Albert. I can manage them. I fear death as I fear the evangelist. They are both pursuing my soul.
Come on, me beauty. Come on. And your rest.
I can see us drifting forever. Never seeing land again. Steamships.
There's a lovely girl. Who's a lovely girl?
Allah.
God. How could they?
You know who did it?
Haji Ahmed and his dagger men.
You will be blamed. That's why they left him here.
Abdullah, get the police.
But they'll kill you too.
Do as I say.
But Master!
Abdullah, do as he says. He is right.
Always the good ones. It's always the good ones who are murdered.
You must calm down. Please, drink this.
No, thank you.
Please. You must drink it. For me.
I'll find out if it's safe to bring her into the quay, sir.
Right, Fletcher.
Pull away!
Mr. Bates, you must sail immediately. Here's your papers for custom clearance.
Why, what's happened?
Suleiman Pasha has been murdered. They intend to accuse Mr. Fraser.
What?
We've brought him here. He's only drugged. There is no time to lose. If he stays, he'll be killed. There is someone who'll take the blame.
Who?
Leyla.
Söyle, konuş. Kimin işi bu?
Bilmiyorum. Bilmiyorum. Kim öldürdü? Bırak. Ben öldürdüm. Ben yaptım. Ben.
Götürün, götürün.
I won't risk the ship. I'll stand her offshore.
Well, shouldn't we call them back first?
Ship's only half full. We can use the longboat until nightfall. Mr. Mate! Sir? Clear the ship for sea at once!
Make sure the downhole's clear there.
Baines!
That's all right, Mr. Fraser.
What happened? What are we doing? Where are we? Baines, turn back, do you hear? Turn back.
Now, if you'll allow me to explain, sir.
Turn back, damn you! Turn back!
Right, Chief. Get steam up.
But James!
There's damage to the ship. Right, stand by, Chief.
James, those men!
Not a chance for them.
But they may still be alive.
We go back. May all be lost.
Have another tot, sir.
Thank you. Did Abdullah really say no mercy?
Aye, sir. I fear he did.
Can a woman love so? Give her life for you.
Aye.
How would you know?
Well, I didn't know before, but I do now.
God help me.
It's no consolation, sir. But could you really have left your wife and son?